Welcome to the LIFT database. The LIFT database exists to keep track of volunteers in the LIFT program, recipients of care of the LIFT program, and to schedule visits between volunteers and recipients of care. The database is hosted on Cohesion.com. You can get here by going to Cohesion.com and going up to the login button at the top of the screen, or by typing in lift.cohesion.com. The account name is LIFT. You can type it in with a capital L or a lowercase l. I'll use a capital L. The username will be the volunteer account's username, which should have been sent to you in an email. In this case, I'll be showing the Grace Bible Church account. So I'll use the Grace Bible Church volunteer account username, which is GBC volunteer. Then I'll type in the password. When we first log in, we'll be greeted by the dashboard. Here we can see three widgets: the Upcoming Visits widget, the Missed Visits widget, and the Visits Complete widget. The Upcoming Visits widget will show us what visits are scheduled within the next week. Here we can see the date, time, purpose, need, recipient, and volunteer. By clicking on the visit, we can also pull up its page. Here, we'll be able to read notes about this particular visit. We can also change the recipient or volunteer. We can also change the need, and we can read more about the need. Here, we can see the description of a need: dog walking. Or we can replace, by clicking on this button, that need with another need. But we'll stick with dog walking. Finish. On this page, all visits can be edited. Also on this page is where, when a visit is completed, you'll check off this box that says Visit Complete, so that it won't be put into the missed pile after its due date. I'm done making changes, so I'm going to hit Save. The Missed Visits widget is over here. As you can see, we have no records currently in the Missed Visits widget. That's because no records that we have scheduled have had their due dates passed without their checkboxes being checked. If a visit's due date is passed and it hasn't been marked as complete, it will appear here inside of this widget. Finally, we have the Visits Complete widget. Here we can see how many visits are scheduled to be done and have not been done yet, which is 4, and how many visits have already been completed, which is 2. Now let's go to the calendar to get a better view. Right now, we're on the Dashboard tab. Go up here to the Workspace tab. When we get to the Workspace tab, we'll see that there are several searches on this page that can be viewed. We'll ignore these. We don't need to see any of these right now. All that we need to see is this, the calendar. Click on that. This is going to bring up the calendar view of the LIFT database. Now you can see all of the visits between volunteers and recipients, and you can mouse over them to get more information. Let's mouse over Checkup on the 8th of January. Here we can see the purpose, the date and time, visit complete, the need, the recipient, the volunteer, and we can also see the notes, if there are any. The Checkup on the 5th does have some notes for us to read. Once again, we can click on these entries to pull up their page. Some visits may have the volunteer space left blank. This means that a volunteer is needed, but none has been selected yet. You can click on this search icon here to select a volunteer from the volunteers list. Here you can see that our volunteers are Martin Volley and Sally Volunteer, and you can see some information about them. We won't select any for right now. Now, this is useful if we want to edit information about a visit that already exists, or if we want to mark a visit as complete over here. But let's say that we want to schedule a new visit and put it into the system. I'm going to click the X over here to close the window. Now, if you want to create a new visit, go up here to this plus sign that says Options. When you click on that, there will be a drop-down. Under Create, you will see Blank. Click Blank. Now, we can create a new visit. The Purpose tab is designed for us to create a 1 or 2 word title that describes the visit. Let's say that we need to help someone get groceries. Now we need to select a date. Let's say the 2nd of January at 8:30 a.m. Now, this software comes from Canada, so you can see that it's done in military time. That might be confusing at first, but you'll get used to it. Now, we select a need. We can click the plus icon to create a new need. This will allow us to write in a lengthy description of that need, because Get Groceries is just a title. Or we can select a record right here with the microscope over top of it, or the magnifying glass, rather. So let's say I want to hit that. I'm going to hit Save when this pop-up window comes up. Now I can see Get Groceries is right here, and there's a description of what Get Groceries should be. Now, if I go back and click on Get Groceries, and then I click on this little Select a Record icon, I can read the description by clicking the Expand button. You can make this description as long or as short as you want, but it should serve to give more information on the task at hand, more so than the title, which is called Purpose. Next, I'm going to select which recipient we should be getting groceries for. Now, I could do this, select a record, and then choose a recipient from the lineup. But let's say that the recipient that you have in mind isn't in the system yet. I'm going to close this window. If I hit the plus icon, I can add a new recipient into the system. Now, I'm going to enter the recipient's full name. Let's call him Brian Duell. Now his phone number, 234-444-5555. This is just a test number. Then, you're going to need to put in their address. And the email address is optional. What's also optional is the notes, but if they have any information that you want to put on them, like medical information, likes or dislikes, or other information that should be noted about this recipient, you can put it here, and then it will be easily accessible. I won't add any notes on this person right now. So once again, full name should be their full name, phone number, address, address. These three are mandatory. What's optional is email address and notes, but notes is very useful. Now, I'm going to go down here and click Finish. We've now added a new recipient into the database. Now, I'm going to select a volunteer from the database. Because we're on the volunteer account, you can't create a new volunteer and enter them into the system. Only the coordinator of the LIFT program can do that. So we'll have to select Record right here. Next, you can either find yourself in the list, or you can leave this entry blank. That will let people know that this recipient needs a visit in the near future, but you won't be able to do it. So you can schedule visits for recipients without having to make yourself the volunteer that's going to visit them. In this case, let's say that I'm Martin, and I am scheduling a visit that I intend on fulfilling. So I'm going to click on Martin. Then I'm going to go down to Finish. I'll click Finish, and I'm almost done with my visit. The last step is Optional Notes. Let's say that in this case, Brian needs me to pick up a certain set of groceries for him because he's unable to do so. I might need peanut butter and celery. There we go. Now we've added the notes, and those will be visible in the calendar view. Now, let's hit Save, down here at the bottom. Once I've done that, I'm going to go back to the calendar view, right here. And now, I'm going to go up here where these curly arrows are. That's the refresh button. We'll click that. Now you can see, under Wednesday, January 2nd, Get Groceries has appeared on the calendar. We can see the purpose, the date and time, the visit has not been completed, the need is Get Groceries, the recipient is Brian Duell, the volunteer is Martin Volley, and the notes are visible from the calendar view. When I finish this visit, I can come back here and I can click on the task. Then I'll click Visit Complete. Then I'll hit Save. If I don't click Visit Complete and this visit at this time passes, then this visit will be added to the missed visits pile. So make sure that when you're done, you click Visit Complete. Now you know how to add a recipient and schedule and complete visits. As long as your email address is visible next to your name, you'll get weekly updates from the database about scheduled visits. This concludes our instructional video on the Lyft database.